Our
Transition to
Uni.
I grew up with my parents and three brothers in Queensland. I went to a private girls' Catholic high school in the city and I finished high school 17 years ago. I felt pressure at school to know what I wanted to do from year 8. It was around picking subjects for later years and that this would have an impact on uni course prerequisites. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I finished school. The pressure I felt from my family was more that I just needed to do something with my life.
I went to a semi-private co-ed Catholic school called Padua College in Mornington. I didn't feel pressured at school, but I knew I wanted to do well in my studies. I knew my parents would support me no matter what I chose to do. No one in my family had been to university before, so I didn't feel pressured to go. I did apply, however, because I knew I had to do something, and this is what I was interested in at the time.
The secondary school that I attended was both a private and a Catholic one. Among a country regional location and very little cultural differences, they were very focused on their image and how the uniform policy reflected to the wider community and less about the students' health.
I went to a private Catholic all-boys school in Essendon. I enjoyed school because I got to tell people bad jokes. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do after school, but I felt pressure to get good marks due to my older brother doing exceedingly well. I knew my parents wanted me to go to uni, but I was fine with that because I wanted to go as well.
I have done many things since finishing school, including spending a lot of time trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I've worked in different industries and enrolled to study a few times before but deferred. I spent about 5 years working and travelling overseas, and some of the highlights were working in America, the UK, France and Croatia.
When I finished Year 12, I didn't want to go straight back to studying, so I deferred my course and worked for 6 months. I saved enough money to go to Europe for 4 months. Being away just reassured me that Australia was my home and that this was the path I wanted to take.
During the holiday break, instead of going to schoolies like the majority of my friends, I was the only one who chose to do something completely different. I applied for a Rotary Youth Leadership Camp. It really affected me, even now looking back on it. After coming home from this experience, I realised how much that I learnt about myself. I am now an honorary member and a youth representative for my local Rotary Club to show my appreciation for their sponsorship.
I went straight from Year 12 to uni and very much enjoyed that break in between. I felt like I couldn't take a gap year due to my eldest brother taking one and basically wasting it, so it wasn't a choice I had. I was never really worried about uni, though it was weird because most of my friends went to different universities and it was a bit upsetting knowing I won't see them as regularly.
August of last year was when I began looking into counselling courses, and it was an anxious 6-month wait. I only found out 2 weeks before uni started that I'd been accepted. It has been a bit of a whirlwind since starting, and in the first week of uni, my boyfriend proposed and we got engaged. I now finally feel like I can see a career path with studying, and I'm looking forward to the future.
I felt nervous starting university because I'm from the Mornington Peninsula, so I wasn't used to the city. I was excited to see what my course would be like and if it was what I was expecting. It was confronting, but I knew I was ready for it, as I felt I had grown up a lot whilst I was overseas, and I knew my family would be there to support me no matter what.
I was the first person in my family really to stick through and gain a university course. I am the oldest and so didn't really have a lot of advice going into youth work. No one in my family that I know of has done the course before, but I had to back myself after doing my research that at this stage of my life, after doing volunteering and leadership experience among the youth sector, that this is where I wanted to be.
My initial thoughts about uni was I loved it. I loved the difference from Year 12 and I loved the freedom. There were challenges at the start with having to force yourself to get out of bed for those early lectures, but uni was exactly how I thought it would be.
I can definitely see myself continuing with my course and can see a job working as a counsellor. Financially, it is very challenging studying and also knowing that I've got a long way to go until I finish. It does feel like a bigger choice that I can't get wrong at my age. I do volunteer work in counselling to help me later on with a career. I feel very blessed to be where I am right now and feel that I've always had very supportive people around me.
I'm really enjoying my course and I hope to continue it. I'm not sure what career I can see myself in at the end, but something to do with helping people. I will be participating in volunteer work in East Timor over the break, so I'm hoping that will help me ensure a path in which I'll take. I'm glad I came to university, as I feel like I'm happy in what I'm doing and achieving.
I am wanting to get out and try to balance my academic life as I feel like all I'm doing is reading and summarise. I want to make learning fun again. I want to be able to learn a new language like Italian or something that may help with jobs later on. I just hope that I can be happy and passion is alive in whatever work that I may be doing in my future, and that I remain open to assist those with an empathetic and supportive heart.
Currently, I'm doing a broad degree and would like to change it to focus on one thing. I've really liked my journalism class, so I hope to finish off the year working hard in it and possibly go into another uni to study it, or if that doesn't work out, become a comedian.